Part 20, Spending and Getting. So, let's start this chapter. Stay tuned. There are a lot of ways to put together what I have been saying about myself and our profession. One way is to understand that all the most effective ways to bring in customer and sell them cost money. You have to buy business if you want to eliminate to the risk and the assured to a stay and growing income. That is the same situation that any other businessman in is. In fact, that's the way any business is about deciding where are the best ways to spend money to get the most money back. With us is matter of spending time as well as money, but since as we know what is the most important and most valuable thing we do, all we have to worry about the being smart in how we buy businesses. If it does not take too much to understand the value of biddings, because if you have to pay only when you have to get what we put for the sold customer, if it makes sense to spend time to get money and get more products. There is no problem in understanding the direct mail that gets the read is worth the cost, and direct mail that does not get read is not worth spending even it's a free. I am sure I have convinced you that many British recurring and my direct mail are worth our investment. But you may think that they are worth is only me and that what is pay to you that try something similar. But what I am trying to say is that I know in advance before I spend the money, the understand the sales rolling in that those won't work. That's why I don't did them in the first place. I was able to start them on the small scale and build, and that's how you can do it too. But you have to be able to look the situation in your business and find out what your best opportunities. For insurance, the wife out of a service right up man goes the hospital for an operation. He is a good is has a job that helps me a lot with my customers service problems. I went to Spain, sent a gift every day, spent sent followers and caddy to sick people, but then the stuff gets thrown out. The longer it's lays, the more times they will think it's Joe Girard. So I figure what would be good listing gift, and I spin a plant interest of flowers. The planet says the house and people always remember who sent it. Now I have an agreement with our florist for sending gifts whatever I think they are needed, and I send the tune wish the for planets build is also like a place for future. People don't turn those such gift away. It's special, so it's worth more than what if cost me. And it is a game of whatever you do understand should you worth more than what you cost you. That does not mean it has to be cheap. Instead, think of how much good if you can do for your business's building. Think of how much you will do to get people to think of you as a nice guy, to tell about you of their friends and relatives. That is the kind of business judgment you need to make it sure that you are putting your times and your money to work most effectively. That's what people are the presentation call cost effective. It does not mean cheap, it does not mean getting your money's worth, however much or little you decide to spend. The spending that more that pays its away. Gifts, treatments, you are thinking that is for high rollers. Not true. That are for everybody. Just stop to think of what happens when you hear that a customer is sick to and you send a get a wall card. What salesman does? that. So here comes that's Kurt. The guy is in a hospital. He goes to nothing to do what with television and waits for visitors. You send just a card, never mind planets, and you know that the customer is going to remember you and think about you. Know everybody who comes in. I got the wild card from the Girard and Flow was sell scarves, or you are in the clothing salesman and you are sent something to the Flow that runs the tailor the shop when you seek out. Now a customer comes in who wants to buy three suits and but he's going to on a trip and needs a tomorrow. If there is any way to getting those attractions done by tomorrow, if you know that your friend in the tailor shop the will find it for you. The more money you spend wisely, the more people you can put to work taking you, helping you sell, buying. I have said a lot about making adjustment and sending money, but there's also important ways to invest time, and you are the most important on thinking smart. Whatever your business is about, however it works, it can be improved. There's no perfect way to do business. You can always find some way to do things better if you spend your time thinking about it. But if you have to think in ways to that will help you get new ideas, you have to look at the most thought and true methods as you could rearrange them and make them the work better for you. Here is a classic example. A young man comes out of a life insurance company training program and starts looking for a business. Everybody in the program has been told that on the ways to use it directly or business executives, so that's a young man does what he is told and gets hold a copy the directory. He sits down, opens first page and starts. He thinks to himself that 20 other guys who were in the training program and doing the same thing. That's a string down to the way the directory of the opening it and the first page. That means everybody will go after the same prospects to solve them the same thing, and why should I better? The man asks himself, but what can I do to get effort of them? Then he hits on a very simple, observes idea that nobody else had suggested. As a result, instead of the opening the book to he opens in near the middle, and as a result, is called prospects who Henry every get called. He goes out loud the appointments and he is sell lots of insurance politics right from the start. That Maine is a very furious insurance asset now, and he believes that stepping to think the better way to operate was the thing that contributed most of the all his success. And after his ways, there's nothing to it. I don't believe him completely, and neither does too, because you know the works very smart than time. He is always looking for new different ways to approach the same old problems, and by looking, he probably finds them more often than other salesmen. Don't be afraid to do. Definitely, it's usually better. You could say the same thing about my direct mail program, about my gifts, and about the way I do businesses. If it's a lot of different from the way other people used to sell car and different from the very way most other people still do. I was ignorant of all the wisdom of the businesses when I started, so I developed my own methods, not all at once, but gradually as I kept looking for the better ways to build my business and sell more. I am not trying to say that I invented everything that I do. I borrowed a lot of my ideas from other people and other businesses. Does everybody in your businesses work a list of from the beginnings of the alphabet? Then why not sell on from the insurance main the start be middle, or maybe you should be the end. But whatever you come up with, the important thing is not to be put off the guys who tell what you can't do it because it's never been done before. This many be certain ideas attitude to in the world of that something can't be done because it has not been done before. It's have the worst true. There world be never anything new. The world, none of the investments, none of the great new ideas, old world exists. And the same is true. Your businesses who say something would not work because it has not been done before. Just the people who don't win competition, but that's what our profession is about. Competition. Everybody who tells is the competing all the times against other people, same the same thing or other thing. A customer cannot decide whatever to would 6 months instead of buying from me today because he also wants to spend the money to once bought a vacation. So, a both dealer and travel agents are selling against me, besides the thousands of other people selling Corvette and every other car in the world. The biggest advantage you can get is to come up with a better way to reaching and selling your customer. Good ideas are always worth not the time it takes to think of them, and they are always worth as many cost of the put into operation. R&D they call the research and development. You should have it too. You should always be looking at new things to try new ways to test value what is already doing. That's the way you can be constantly looking up the improvement of the most important product that you are sell, which is you. The trick is always to look for new ways to do old things. The unaccepted can be the most effective, but I monitored before that I am very sensitive to ethnic sellers. A guy would start in about dust and the ropes and would start bowling. Whatever I hit him or not, I would to get more some lows the ill sales. Finally, one day I have decided to that my businesses during the working hours was selling cars to anybody who wanted on. I don't want to lose business or trade by getting into fights about my being silicons. So I did a simple thing. I called the printers, told him to print me as a new piece of business cards instead of my putting my legal name Girard on them. I told him to drop me the I at the end of make a just plain Girard. I don't change my name legally. I just decide to take on the stage name like John Winnie and damn written as a thousands of people. Even it's called salesman as a wondered before drops the last part of his name in businesses because it's too long to write and pronounce. That was a simple idea, but it took me a long time to figure out. Few years on, I decided to do it. As it changed my life because it's eliminated on some most important people's problems in my businesses life without changing anything in my private life. I have received hate mail from other eliminates who think I changed my name legally because I was ashamed of what I am, but that's not true. I did it the same reason that I don't wear fancy suits and to work for the same reason that I do many things, other things in my businesses. I did not because I wanted my customer to look me at the person they believe in my word to buy the car from. I don't care what they think about the real world. I want to them to come my show, then trust me and believe in my buy from me. So I make sure that I give the good performance by wearing the right clothes, giving them the comfortable environment to man the worth me, and carrying a names they will remember only because they like to buy from me. It's they have presumption that's their problem. I don't want to know about it. In the world where selling them, I want nothing to interface with their trust and Jugared. I am not remembering that anybody changed his name, but here's what I'm trying to do say is that should be looked at anything, including your name, it to see look and improve your selling efficiency. Sensing my business name worked for me, something else can't work for you. Whatever you think, it's yourself to steal from some other businesses, looking around for ideas, research and development is something that's always worth the investment of your time and money. But when I say time and money, I should also maintain the third agreement, patience. Patience is not easy to think when you don't have to unlimited time or money. But without, if you may never get the fair the payout that have studied in the motion. When I started recurring, besides, I know that if it took them before I would start seeing the new businesses come in. But I just kept on looking and recurring, and I kept after the people after I signed them up. They got mail remembers from me about the 50, and lot of them also got phone calls. They plant and seeds, and you have to water them, and they have to do other things while are you waiting for them sprout. But they sprout if you have excited the first steps properly. You can be on that because if you made the spray effort and had the persistence, you have to shout and talk in the forever. It cannot lose the long run. But persistence alone just standing by the door will not treat the audience away. You have to make your own audience to spending time and money to develop your own methods to bring in the customer and money. Time and money well invested will build your business tremendously. Always look in new and better ways to do it. Thanks for listening.